Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomen Radio. I'm Amy. As the sun rose high on that fateful early afternoon, Chris Watts stood on his porch with a facade of calmness while the police dogs meticulously searched every corner of his house. The air was thick with tension and apprehension as investigators silently sifted through the family's belongings, waiting for the dog to yelp out in alarm as they were in search of any clues that would lead them to the missing members of his family. Watts carefully pleaded for his family's safe return, hiding behind a mask of indifference while deep inside he knew the truth would soon unravel. The darkness creeping over the horizon seemed to mirror the ominous secrets lurking within the walls of his home, shrouded in darkness and deceit. Each bark from the canine unit pierced through the stillness of the afternoon, amplifying the gravity of the situation at hand. And through it all, Watts maintained an eerie composure, betraying nothing as he awaited his inevitable reckoning. This is part two of the canine search. The part the first part covered the community search where they went near the community clubhouse in search of the Watts family. I'll put a link in the description or somewhere around here to that live. You don't have to watch that live first to know what's going on, so that's okay. You can continue to watch this live, but I'll put a link to that. It's a good one to see. And today we're going to go in search of the Watts home with the canines inside of the house, the upstairs and the downstairs. Um, Before we do that, if we could get a little algorithm dance party going, put your fingers to the keyboard and hit the thumbs up and the hearts button like nobody's watching it. But the algorithm is paying attention to everything. It just helps us dance out there, party out there, and bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really, really appreciated. And if you have a little extra, we now can accept super chat and super stickers. So it's the button with the heart and the money symbol in between inside of it. If you have a little extra, that would be great. But if you don't, that's okay too. Just hit the like and that'll help me out tremendously. So I thought we would start out with talking about the police dogs and I mean, are they even helpful? What do you think? Do you think that we can trust the police dogs, the smellers? Let me share my screen with you and we'll read a little bit and then we're going to watch the search of the upstairs and the downstairs of the Watts home. Share screen. Here we go. Okay. Let me make sure you can see it. Okay, good, you can. This says police say dogs help solve crimes. Little evidence supports that. In 2020, Salt Lake City abruptly terminated its canine unit for pursuing and apprehending suspects. Not much changed. And as always, I will put the link down into everything we read and watch down in the description, and you can go read and watch it on your own. For fair play use, I have to do stop and start things. As always, this is my research, and I urge you to go and do your own. This is for entertainment purposes only. The little bird is so spicy today, so spicy. I'm probably going to have to make him go in the back. The 911 call came early the morning of April 24th, 2020. A man was reportedly at the home where his estranged wife lived, violating the protective order she had against him. Police arrived, spotlighting the... Okay. Here we go. Hold on one second, you guys. Come on, in the back. Mommy put a plaything up there for you. Yeah, I know. It's been a rough day for you today, hasn't it? It's been a rough day for me too with you. His mom and dad just had babies. They're so cute. Oops. Sorry about that. My microphone came unplugged. All right, getting back to it. The 911 call came early that morning of April 24th, 2020. A man was reportedly at the home where his estranged wife lived, violating the protective order she had against him. Police arrived, spotlighting the backyard with flashlights. Jeffrey Ryans, a 36-year-old black man, stood outside smoking a cigarette. According to the body cam footage, Officer Nicholas Pierce ordered him to the ground and warned that if Ryans didn't comply, he'd release his dog, K9 Tucko, at Pierce, and the other arriving officers approached and Ryan dropped to the ground. Pierce commanded the dog to attack. Hit, hit. I'm on the ground, Ryan shouted. Why are you biting me? He continued yelling and screaming, the footage shows. When police cuffed Ryan's face down on the ground, Pierce urged Tucko to release his grip. Ryan's arrest was largely unreported until months later, and in the midst of Black Lives Matter protests, the Salt Lake Tribune published a story along with the video footage. The original 911 call, it turned out, was less than straightforward. According to a civilian review board report, Ryan's had erroneously believed the restraining order had been lifted. His estranged wife had invited him to the house. A child called 911. It's hard to know exactly how often police release their dogs on criminal suspects, and Salt Lake City did not respond to a records request to confirm how many times. Tucko has been deployed. By some estimates, police dogs bites send about 3,600 people in the U.S. to the emergency room every year. And in an unknown number of cases, they are fatal. But after Ryan's case became public, Salt Lake City did something few other municipalities have tried. On August 12, 2020, the day after the Tribune published its report and with no advance notice, the mayor announced the city would suspend the use of dogs to engage with suspects, effective immediately. So something must have really went wrong in that takedown. In the months that followed, the local district attorney office requested records of all canine deployments. Police turned up 34 use of force incidents and 19 videos. The DA charged Pierce with one count of felony aggravated assault related to the incident with Ryans. Ryans filed a civil complaint. Both cases are pending, but Salt Lake City abrupt decision did something else. It provided a natural experiment to test three hypotheses: whether police canine protect officers, increase suspect injuries, or increase suspect resistance during felony arrests. The resulting data ultimately raised broader concerns about long-standing police practices. Despite using dogs for more than a century, law enforcement agencies in the U.S. did not keep comprehensive or reliable data to support claims that police dogs reduce crime and make anyone safer. Indeed, there is a debate about how many canines or police dogs there are, how often they're used, and who they're being used against. In early 2023, when four researchers published a paper titled Defanged in the Journal of Experimental Criminology, the group stated they were unaware of any existing quantitative evaluation of the claimed benefits of canine in policing. Led by Ian T. Adams, a former canine officer who is now an assistant professor in the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice at the University of South Carolina, the officers explained there's precious little empirical evidence to support any claims. whether by proponents of critics of people of police canine programs. Adams dedicates the research of effort to his former canine partner Pyro in the acknowledgments of the paper. Adam faced a civil lawsuit against himself after Pyro attacked an unarmed man in the 2013. The suit settled out of court and was dismissed in 2015. He did not respond to a request for comment on this matter. Supporters of the practice often involve emotionally appealing anecdotes and common sense assumptions, not scientific studies. Adams' group cites one survey of 255 officers, 91% of whom reported that canines were important or very important in protecting them. But no published real-world data appears to substantiate the dogs actually make officers safer. And to critics, policing people with dogs not only lacks empirical and experimental validation more broadly, but also causes injuries that are sometimes so severe that require specialized trauma care not available in the emergency room. Some research suggests that canines disproportionately attack people of color, a pattern that that's come to light in reports from Ferguson, Missouri, and in National Inquiry data. Although another analysis conducted in one county in suburban Maryland suggests white suspects are more likely to be bitten. Still, a broad coalition of researchers has argued that the history of police canines in North America is inextricably rooted in racism, and that tracking down and violently subduing African Americans, as the legal scholar Stewart argues, lies deep in the coils of slavery. The suspicion in Salt Lake City limited the use of dogs during apprehension of arrests. Law enforcement there confirmed that police still deploy canines to search for drugs and track down criminal suspects. In a statement reported by the Tribune, officials warned that the suspension would nonetheless prove very dangerous, not just for the officer, but the public. At best, such claims are untested hypothesis in Salt Lake City case. The dire warning never came to pass, and the city saw practically no effect. Madeline Wolszewski, I don't know how to say that, an assistant professor at the University of South Carolina School of Law, said that before and after observational data suggest the claim that eliminating canine units would be disrupting an important tool for crime fighting for public safety may either be overblown or, as it turns out, not true at all. As she put it, the sky isn't going to fall if we stop using police dogs. So here's an argument that they're not really even useful at all. And moving on to the sniff test, make sure that you can see me moving on. Yes. Moving on to this, the sniff test. Mark Redwine kept mementos of his youngest son in the cab of his truck. The boy's name, Dylan, is tattooed on his left shoulder. He distributed missing person posters at truck stops. In November 2012, his 13-year-old son had arrived to spend Thanksgiving at Redwine's cabin near the San Juan National Forest in southwestern Colorado. Redwine told an FBI investigator that he left Dylan asleep on the couch when he went to town. When he returned, the boy was gone. More than 6 months later, hikers found skeletal remains on a trail high in the desert, clear air, about 16 kilometers from Redwine's cabin. Authorities confirmed the bones belonged to Dylan, but the local coroner could not determine cause of death. Schmeth. To go missing is not a crime, but Redwine's ex-wife Elaine Hall and the couple's oldest son came to suspect Redwine did something to make Dylan disappear. Redwine flatly denied any involvement, but police soon honed in on him. On the 5th of August 2013, the investigation took a dramatic turn when Garen Corkin arrived in Durango, Colorado with her German Shepherd, Molly. At the time, Kraken worked for the Madison, Wisconsin Police Department. In her off hours, she ran K9's Search Solutions, a private firm that specialized in using dogs trained to sniff out cadavers to search for missing people. By her account, she had worked 265 cases in 30 odd years. Molly, or Biddy, as Kraken called the dog, was unusually small for her breed. Molly had started out as a timid little puppy that was given up to a rescue. Kraken later wrote, but under her tutelage, the dog became a legend in the field of human remains detection. Kraken and Molly met local police at a La Penta County Sheriff's Office warehouse known as Area 51. Inside, Kraken let Molly off leash. "Go find," she said. Nose down, Molly sniffed at the concrete floor. Kraken understood the dog's behavior to mean the area was all clear, free of odors. Then she asked investigators to bring in the evidence, 3 paper packages containing clothes Mark Redwine had allegedly worn at the time of Dylan's disappearance. Kraken again commanded Molly to search. This time, her dog went up to the bags, gave a deep, audible sniff, looked Kraken in the eye, and sat down next to the 2 of them. Because Kraken had trained Molly to sit when the dog detected the odor of human remains, those indications suggested the odor of a dead body lingered on jeans, a pair of sneakers, and a work shirt. Next, the team went to Redwine's cabin, which was unoccupied. Molly sat down in a nearby stream and indicated at 5 other locations outside the home, according to Kraken. Then she saw her dog looking up at a window. An investigator climbed into the house and opened the door for Kraken and Molly. Inside, the dog made its indication, a sit near a wood stove in a bedroom, on a brown sofa by a washing machine, and elsewhere. In February 2014, police called Kraken back and had Molly sniff Redwine's Dodge pickup truck. Again, Kraken said her dog detected the odor of human remains. More than a year after the boy's disappearance. Nearly 4 years later, Redwine, driving a semi-truck, pulled into a parking lot in Bellington, Washington. Police officers approached and arrested him on suspicion of killing his youngest son. In a body cam video of the encounter released to a local TV station, Redwine looks disheveled and confused. "If you guys can you please explain to me what's going on?" State prosecutors in Colorado persuaded a grand jury to indict Redwine on some of the most serious charges the state could pursue: child abuse and second-degree murder. His trial began in July, and the prosecution's narrative was built in no small part no commonly held assumptions about the behavior of a scent detecting dog. Dogs had been celebrated since antiquity for their ability to sniff a particular odor and lead humans to its source. But the domesticated canines' transformation into crime-fighting companions emerged much more recently. A U.S. police launched canine training programs and a thriving cottage industry of private firms, which often aid law enforcement, emerged. Today, police use dogs to track fugitives and search for missing persons, obtain probable cause. This is legal justification to get search warrant and find substances, particularly illegal drugs, and what are known as scent lineups. Agencies are use trained canines to match evidence collected at a crime scene to the scent of a suspect of body. Increasingly, testimonies from dog handlers has also served as direct evidence of guilt, acceptance in lieu of actual corpse, drug stash, or other physical evidence of a crime. Yet, critics worry about the criminal legal system has embraced a technique profoundly lacking in scientific validation. Dog sniff evidence has led to wrongful convictions, and studies show human biases skew animal behavior. Almost no published research indicates just what dogs detect or how they do it. Defendants and their lawyers can't cross-examine a dog, which means the accused cannot scrutinize the evidence or readily confront their accusers, a right enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. It's not enough to say, I have this amazing expert with an incredible nose who can distinguish between scents, says Bloom, an evidence scholar at the University of California College of Law, who contends such testimony short circuits the safeguards in place to determine between junk science and real science. You have to explain exactly what their method is. In 1990, about the time Kraken joined the police force in Madison, she read a book, So That Others May Live, Caroline Hubbard and Her Search and Rescue Dogs, describing one woman's passion for finding missing people. She was intrigued, but her bosses were not initially interested in deploying canines, so Kraken began to train German Shepherds on her own time. Between 1999 and 2001, she went to 5 seminars hosted by K9's Solutions Incorporated CSI and taught by Sandra Anderson, a trainer with an uncanny knack for turning up evidence where others found nothing. Sometimes no evidence existed. The FBI accused Anderson of planting bones and other remains for her dogs to find, and she went to prison in 2004. In 2005, Kraken found Caroline's Search Solutions, attracting volunteers who shared a love for dogs, the outdoors, and in the words of the colleague, solving mysteries and bringing closures to families. Her biggest break came in 2004 when she cracked a cold case. A Wisconsin woman had gone missing in 1976. Nearly 4 decades later, Kraken's dog Cleo indicated in 14 locations where the woman's ex-husband, the chief suspect, allegedly unalived her and then tried to hide the body. No remains were found, and a judge barred Kraken from testifying in the trial. Nonetheless, police said the suspect confessed and admitted to dumping the remains at the location Cleo flagged. Soon, other prosecutors were asking Kraken to testify in trials. In court transcripts, she described dogs as terrible poker players, incapable of deceit. As for Molly, she told one court last year, I would put my house up against her indications. Sorry, indications. I was trying to say indictions for some reason. Her career arc mirrors a broader shift in the United States. The number of police dogs swelled from 2000 to 1989 to as many as 50,000 in 2010. After the 2013 Supreme Court ruling in Florida versus Harris, which found drug detection dogs reliable as long as the dog and handler team was properly trained and certified, judges increasingly allowed expert witnesses to testify about dog sniff evidence. As with the 2004 cold case, the charges against Redwine hinged on Molly's ability to detect the odor of unalived bodies where no human remains could be found. The best way I can describe it is someone pops popcorn in your house, correct, and explained to one Wisconsin jury. You come in, you can smell the popcorn that's been popped, but there's no popcorn left. Suspects could hide a body, but as she saw, no one could outrun a dog's nose. But as it turned out, she was lying the whole time, and in the decades leading up, Mark Redwine's trial, Kraken had amassed an incredible track record. Prosecutors had called her to testify in 6 criminal cases. Each time judges allowed her testimony to be introduced before a jury, the suspects were found guilty, and unexplained deaths became criminally punishable homicides. On 27 June 2019, after 7 years after Dylan disappeared, Dana Delger and M. Chris Fabricant, attorneys from the Innocence Project's Strategic Litigation Department, arrived at the La Plata County Court in Durango. Their goal was to challenge Kraken's technique and persuade Judge Jeffrey Wilson not to admit the dog sniff evidence. Fabricant, hired by the Innocence Project in 2012, had assembled a portfolio of questionable forensics techniques. By the time of Mark Redwine's trial, dog sniff evidence was high on the list. For one thing, dogs were prone to error in data from Australia. Police recorded 10,211 alerts made by drug sniff dogs. 70% of the hits turned out to be false alarms. But Fabricant was especially concerned about instances where K9's provided direct evidence. In one case, a man named DeAndre Lane told police his daughter had been kidnapped during a carjacking. But after an expert claimed his dogs detected the odor of decomposing remains in Lane's car, a jury found him guilty of murder. And an Arizona woman was sentenced to life in prison for murdering her daughter and throwing the body in the trash. Prosecutors called 2 handlers who claimed their dogs detected the scent of death in a dumpster. A body was never found in either case, but the testimony helped seal the suspect's fate. Those cases suggested a larger pattern. A dog helped turn the loose threads in the prosecution's case into solid narrative rope. The cadaver dogs is bridging the gap between petty, plausible suspect and guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Delger says, emphasizing that she could not commit in any particular case. Follow the evidence. Molly, a dog trained to find cadavers, stopped at multiple locations near Mark Redwine's cabin in Colorado. Here you can see all the stops the dog made. What happened in trials without any testimony about dogs was also telling. In late 2019, Fabricant and Delger helped a Wisconsin attorney representing a man accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend and dropping her body in a lake. Kraken and a colleague claimed dogs directed the odor of human remains inside the suspect's home, but the defense convinced the judge that the testimony did not meet the legal standard for scientific evidence. The suspect was found not guilty, ending Kraken's winning streak. So I show you all of this to tell you that the dog sniffers, they're not reliable. They're just not. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the dogs come in, and we're going to watch it from the beginning where they grab the odor, smell it, the clothing to try to get it for the dogs to smell. And we're going to look at that. I think that we're lucky that it didn't come down to having to use this as evidence. But I don't think it can help or hurt to go through it and just see what's going on. Let me share my screen. This is Parawoman Radio, and I'm Amy. We're going over the dog canine footage. Okay. I'll make sure you could hear me too. All right, where is it? Here it is. Hello, Bubbles. How are you doing? Hi, Mary Beth. How are you doing? Hi to everybody. We're coming to you on X, YouTube, and Facebook. Hi, guys. And hi to everybody in my replay crew. I couldn't forget you. Hi, guys. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps us go out into the algorithm, dance out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really appreciated. I'm going to kick on in just a second.
Hi, are you Chris? Chris, yes. Chris Officer Lyons with the Frederick Police Department, Office Perez. Hi. And we've got Boulder County Sheriff's Office. She can't. Yeah. Hey, so we brought in some extra resources to try to locate your family.
Okay.
With your permission, we've got 3 different canines available. We'd like to collect some scent and kind of get the dogs in motion if you're good with that.
Okay.
They are going to need to come inside the house, kids' rooms, any of your wife's articles, anything like that.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? You do understand it's completely voluntary.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we'll just let her get started, and we'll be in the area.
Okay.
So Chris, I might need your help a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Where is? I'm assuming your wife Sherry's in bed with you.
Yes.
Okay. Just look in there, and then possibly your kid rooms. Does she have any dirty laundry that hasn't been touched by anybody else besides her? Okay. Is any of your laundry in there?
Yes.
Okay.
It's shared.
Okay. I just, it's a family. It's gonna happen. How about your kids' rooms?
So their laundry would be in the.
Okay. And has any of it been touched by you today?
I'll put it in there.
Put it in there. How about dirty laundry?
This is the dirty laundry here.
Okay. You usually pick it up off the floor. Put them in.
Yep.
Beds. Have you touched their beds today?
I made them.
You made them. Okay. Do you like pick up a pillow, that kind of stuff, or do you just? Here.
There. Sure. Let me see if there's anything that. There's nothing I've ever touched at all.
How about actually shoes would be good too? Shoes that maybe you haven't touched since they worn. Clean.
Yeah, these are clean, but sometimes the blankies get put in there.
Okay.
And that's the one she usually uses, the butterfly one.
This one.
But
Okay.
that's
So you touched it today?
yesterday when I put it on the bed.
Okay. Shoes.
Shoes are downstairs.
Okay. They're probably your wife's shoes.
Okay. easy shoes and Bella shoes on this side.
Okay. What's the most recent pair you remember her wearing?
Probably outside because they were wet from a pool party.
Okay.
Does that still work?
What day was that?
99.
That was on Saturday.
Okay.
Those are the two right there.
Just be advised, we're getting two different calls. One's going to be from KOA, another one is going to be
Yeah.
CIO request, and it's going to be the Denver Post urban call.
Copy, show me advised. Pass that on to my command staff.
Okay.
It's going to be 11:15.
Did they wear them walking home? Is there a full in town?
It was at a friend's birthday party.
Okay.
Over at Jeremy's.
Copy. I'll put it all.
Went in the
I'll
pool
put
and
the
they walked home.
information on the meet into the follow-up if you'd like, and that way it's all in one place.
But I didn't put them out there.
Well, we'll try them because there's can't think of anything else, right? All the other shoes.
Hold on, 53.
You've touched.
Oh yeah, because I wasn't put them on. Or,
And then how about wife's shoes? Are
They're heading
there's
over
anything
to
you can touch?
address on Durango Place to attempt to contact this person. I don't have any exact. I'll let you know when I get there.
those are the last ones she was in the airport. I grabbed this part.
Okay.
So go on home.
Touch the bottoms or.
Okay. Well, we'll give him a try.
Copy, 11:15.
Sorry, I put him. He'll bite your ankles.
Got it. It's always the little ones. It's never the big ones. Oh, it's okay. I know, it's okay.
Pelican 890. Pelican 890. I'll be having the PD in reference to Jeff Holding.
Leave those for a little bit. And I'm going to put two in those shoes outside too. Chris, when's the last time your wife just went for a walk around?
It's been a long, long time.
Okay. And then how about your kids?
They were in North Carolina for the last 6 weeks, so it was before that.
Okay. And you said you went to a pool party on Saturday, but you drove there
Yeah,
and
I
home?
drove there that day.
Okay.
Because she was in Arizona at that point.
Okay. All right. We just want to make sure that when the dogs go out on a trail, they're not following something old. Usually, it doesn't stick around for more than a week. So
Sure.
it's good news. And
I'm sure they've asked you already. She doesn't usually go out on hikes or
We never been on a hike.
nothing on stretch out.
Wait to hear something all day, all night. friends pouring out and reaching out. That's about it.
Tell you one thing for sure. I can't imagine what you're going through right now.
The house, I couldn't sleep at all last night. I just didn't feel right. And I'm used to my kids, and Cece's in the high chair, and Bella's right there. Like, just, I missed them throwing chicken nuggets at me, honestly, last night.
Well, like I said, we brought in extra resources, so we'll do everything that we can to try to find your family for you. Everything we can.
You said friends and her family has also reached out to you.
Oh yeah, people I haven't heard from in years. I mean, they all know. Facebook's a machine.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It reaches all parts of the world. And it's a great machine most days.
Yeah,
For this type of stuff.
exactly.
And Chris, did she drive her car from the airport?
No, Nikki dropped her off on the way. Or I want to park right outside the door.
Yeah. Do you drive that car as well?
That one? No, that's Nikki's car.
Oh, okay. Does your wife have a car?
Yeah,
And do you drive it? Or did she?
I was the last one to go over to the pool party.
Okay, so pretty recently.
Saturday.
That's okay. Okay. Well, we'll give these a try.
Okay.
Did she want to run her dog through
Yeah, probably.
the house?
If that's okay with you.
Are you all right with us bringing a dog through the house as well?
Oh, brother.
And,
Okay.
your bulldog? Yes.
I was gonna say
He's locked up. You want to put him outside? So he's not like really going nuts.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Well, I was going to try to stop them before they went in, but that didn't happen, so that's okay. Hey, Chris. So we need to have everybody step out of the house.
Okay.
Mostly because we don't want the dog to get confused with all the stuff
Correct.
that's going on.
So you can leave that there. You can leave your camera there.
I'll break it
Okay,
outside.
we
I
just-
don't want to mess you guys up at all. Because my scent has,
Dispatch level 9 for 10.
She's just gonna
Bill,
down
9,
up front
sorry.
dog.
Show me in service, please.
1204.
What's that? Oh, the dog here. He's in the back.
He's in the back.
Step down.
Yeah, just in the driveway is totally fine. Go over that with her real quick. All right, here is my card as well.
Thank you.
Decided to dig it out. It was buried.
He will be hysterical for a few minutes till he settles down. That's just the way he's real intense.
Okay,
But he knows what he's doing.
perfect.
He looks real calm now, but you
Just wait. Brace myself up.
Yes, brace yourself. That's what makes him
He's a lab. I would expect
Yes, I
nothing less.
4 labs in 38 years.
Really?
So this will be the 4th one.
Wow,
And the last one probably
they're great dogs.
over 75. And we had awesome opportunities. So the good Lord's been good to us.
That's great.
So I'm gonna take this guy. His name is Cody. No, really. Yeah, that's
vest, huh? That's good. That's well trained.
This gets so much attention already. Was it on the Bolo this morning?
Yeah, it's all over social media. Friends are posting, families posting.
I assume people are looking, trying to contact her friends and everything to see if she's
I would assume so.
out. You know, like a lot of times people in domestics will be talking to their best friend about what's going on, and you know, then they can go over there and
Yeah, it's.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that the lady that was out here is a family friend, and
She said,
I see. What? Hi, yes.
is that the husband?
Yes. And media.
Cody, hey, poop. Smells like cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
What's that?
I said, let her know about the beads.
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine an adult doing that.
Vice versa. Want to
Yeah. Because the carpet's otherwise been vacuumed. I mean, you can see the vacuum marks. Very, very well kept house.
look under the couches. You can see
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. He never started to do that.
These beads, this be of interest to him at all as far as the kiddos go?
Anybody look in that chat?
We haven't. Looks fairly specific to him. Work boots,
Or
cooler.
tools or anything? One time I had a subject that had a pieces
Yeah,
stuck down about his disposal, the bathroom drain.
really.
So that's why they're fall down. Okay. Super. Leave it. good sources of scent for the kids.
I think wife's office. Her shoes were in this back room to the right. The second one to the right.
Cody. Hey, right now, up here. What's that?
It's pink, whatever it is.
Yeah. Could it be a diluted?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Doesn't have the right color
No,
tint
it
to
isn't
it.
really, but you just never know.
Right.
All right, let's finish up here. And then we'll go back downstairs. Getting more and more tentative as we go through the house. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean, yeah, it could mean a high intense light. So it could mean several things because the body chemistry changes
Sure.
on all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of these are motion activated. These are the shoes that she took the scent off of.
Okay. That's you. So there's probably a first end of here.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What the world is that? Wow. Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It might. It sort of sounds like it.
Something. There was a. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there. That was strange. Well, we'll make a note of that.
I heard it. I definitely heard the same thing you did.
Yeah, and then he just sort of turned around and left. But I didn't. Was she on anything? Oh no, she was pregnant. I was gonna say, do you know about drug use in the house or pot?
Not that we know of.
We'll be out in a minute. Let me finish the house and then I'm gonna go out the garage. And looking for some kind of access to the attic.
Probably in the garage would be my guess.
Maybe I should finish that then go garage.
That or upstairs.
Oh, there's an upstairs.
There's an upstairs. Yep, all the bedrooms are upstairs.
Well, let's do that.
You want to go up first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the upstairs?
To the right.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
What's that? I do. Yep. That's where that's at. Okay. Okay. So there should be in that basket some of the kids' clothes and their nightgowns that they may or may not have had on that night. Not me.
Just letting. Yeah. Well, you may have carried something or.
It's possible.
Definitely scent. out of there.
Yeah. So there's your attic access right there. Do I need to climb up there?
You know, I've had noticed sometimes.
It's just my gloves.
Since this place has been so intimately cleaned recently, that's kind of interesting to me. Unless they just keep that the way they did. Can you see any kind of dust or anything on that shelf where somebody might have
There's no.
put their hand in? Doesn't look like anything.
No.
Okay. Okay. That's what we needed to know, though.
No, it has not been disrupted.
Okay. So that's good to know that, though.
Maybe the bathroom is especially the bathroom. Okay, so this is their bedroom and master bath, and then the girls' rooms. I'm in the laundry room. What's that? Yep.
See if you can go in.
Here. Got a book under there. And a rock. Hello. Just a big book.
Nothing. No storage or nothing. Now see, this is a bed though, so scent will go down. You have somebody sleeping in
Oh,
there.
that was my glasses.
Now, did you get everything?
Yeah, do you want me to pull the book out? It's literally right here.
Oh.
That's it?
Scent.
Uh-huh.
That's what he was showing me.
Okay, that's what it is. I'm going to step back in the laundry room for a second.
Okay.
Okay. I need to grab some photos.
That was a good boy. So he knows the kid's bed already.
Perfect.
In the stool, on the stool, I don't know if it's rest or whatever. But look in the bottom of the stool there. Do you suppose that's rust in the closet or some kind of sediment?
It looks like sediment
Okay,
because there's layers.
okay. Just because I know what's happened, you know, like people's stuff.
There's no water in this toilet.
Oh, really?
Nope. None. toilet's dry.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
Let's kind of lift up that and see if there's water in the tank.
Let me hook this back up. Yep. There's water and
How can that be? That could be,
I'm not sure what that is.
unless they would suck the water out. Not flush it just dry.
Hey,
It's kind of weird.
I did. My hands were full. Yep. Okay, yep, I will send them to you. You bet. Bye.
You know, maybe I just, I just almost seem like this place is a little bit too immaculate to be normal.
It's amazingly clean.
Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying though?
I do. They're using that as like bed rails so that she doesn't roll out of the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the little one.
The little one?
Yeah.
Yep. Good idea, this. Get that.
There's nothing under the bed.
Yeah, no, he didn't do like he did there.
Nope.
Nope, so he knows. See, some places he's a little bit more interested than other places.
Wonder where the used diapers are. Scent-wise.
Yeah, I don't know if they're scented or not. Those aren't used though.
No, but if there were, if they had like a
Uh-huh.
trash can or a pail, but
He got it. He's done.
maybe this is the right way.
Definitely, some places are more interesting than others. To him.
Yeah.
You're doing good, Teddy. Now let's see, where'd we get? What is this? This place like Hayes, isn't it?
Yes.
He didn't want-
Lots of Jack and Jill going on.
Didn't want to pay attention to that at all.
Oh my.
See, that fan is creating a whole different scent pattern. This is clear. Okay, you're doing good, Betty. Okay, you're all right. Okay, now is there anything else left up here?
Yep. I don't know what's in this closet. Husband and wife, room, and the master. And that furnace.
That panel's open.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Cody, come here.
It's got just a magnetic cover that fell off, it looks like.
Let's see. Let's turn that fan off. Okay.
Here's a pair of her shorts. I don't know if they've been touched or moved.
Well, we're interested in seeing people pick up a sign of something that would be where either a physical took place or remnants of certainly sin all over, but that's
Sure.
what he's supposed to be doing is something that is a trauma scene.
Okay.
Is what
That's what he does.
I'm looking at. More of that.
Okay.
Certainly downstairs when we first came in, that was interesting. But that could have been an argumentative place too. Is it clear? It is. Yeah.
Hey. That they what? Car seats? They should. They're little. Okay. How do you feel about the car seats in the car in the garage? That needs probably to be the other dogs. This dog is looking for different. I'm right here. Hey, come to the door. Perez, hanging up on you. Perez. Yeah, hang on just a second. That's the other track team. Okay. So this dog's looking more for trauma or heated areas. Those dogs are going to track the scent. So we may be able, yeah, if they're still out there. Have they started yet? Yeah. Say what? 99. Who was it?
Just be advised, I have an update in your call. RP has console information for you. Want contact by phone preference call.
Copy advised. They're watching that back repeat anyway. Yeah, that's. There were multiple in there. That's why. Okay, that's why we asked. Okay. All right. Where are we heading?
Anything I need?
Nope. We've got about 12 things going on this time.
Have Jeff or Katie started yet?
They have not. That's interesting.
Copy, break. 1185 dispatch. Copy, 1238. Go ahead, sir.
Center left wheel drive.
Well, there's air currents.
1239.
Here, come on, yeah. First. Because the fan's running in there. Wait, wait. Hey. Shine your light.
Yep.
That's interesting because immediately. Quiet. Are you trying to tell me something? Just need a break. Here, check. He's trying.
Something's upsetting up there.
Yep, something's upsetting him here.
Dispatch, we want to best.
Clock or unit clock.
Cool.
105. You attach me to that meet. I'll be on scene.
Something's upsetting here in this area. Here. Something's upsetting him here.
Okay.
To see, he's trying to tell me something. And you need to kind of mark that, although this is.
What's that?
The stairs. So we can mark this area as an area of interest.
Okay.
Don't know why. See, he's getting pretty good. That's of a trauma type.
Okay.
And it's right by the stairs, and there's a fan running there. So see all of that.
It's on Canyon Big House.
Either that
Army
or.
with LBN trucking report, wanting to report their tractor trailer missing. It never arrived, and the driver's refusing to deliver Ponce area. Okay.
His nose is down to the ground.
1241.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that?
Mm-hmm.
It's been up in the air. Here, hey. Calm down. Okay, I mean, there's some reason. Okay, maybe have or one of the others.
Could be what? How much of a role will the furnace play on that?
Huh?
Will the furnace affect any of that?
Well,
Do I need to shut it off?
Fan in there. Hey, Jeff, or one of you should come in here down in.
So
You got, go here to baby car seat.
this bed is definitely not made. Stuff on hangers, coats.
That intensity, see, he hasn't been that intensity.
There's a dead
So,
wasp on the
he
bed,
has
but
not been that intensity, yeah.
there's a sleeping mask right here too.
Huh?
There's a sleeping mask right there too.
And this has not been cleaned up like
Mm-mm.
everything else.
Sure hasn't.
So this may be her scent. Something has set him off.
Oh, that's a like a night sleep.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. A night sleep mask.
Something has set him off down in this area. Maybe get Jeff or one of the others in here and see, because with this,
Let me. I'll have Officer Perez send one of them. Okay. How do you feel about the car seat?
Let's just do a search of this
Yep.
without information from
Yep.
what Janie did, and
Yep.
give you a little bit better information.
Sounds good. Let me. I'll have Officer Perez send one of them in.
before they get going, just bring them down into this area and see. But just because it's so intense. Okay, that's a good boy. Come here. Okay, sit down. Was that fan going?
I just shut it
It's
off.
hard to tell where that scent's actually coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll get him out.
Hey, can you send one of the canines down to the basement, please?
Let me get him out of here.
Yep, she's going to take her dog out, and we need to have one of them come in, and I'm going to stay in the basement and wait for them. So she's coming out right now. Big time. But we don't know what, so that's why we're going to have one of the others come in because they have different skill sets. So keep everybody out. She's coming out, and just have another canine come in. All right? Okay. Bye.
800 block at Stagecoach Drive with 408 Ida George. Fully.
Show pretty bad.
What's that? Basement. Basement.
Let's just do a search of this
Yep.
without information from
Yep.
what Janie did, and
Yep.
give you a little better information.
Sounds good.
Is this bed that's used, or is it just
We don't know. It's the only bed in the house that's unmade.
Dispatch, Johnstown 823.
Johnstown 832. Correction, Johnstown 823.
I'm going to run down to Johnson's Corner and see if I can attempt to find this vehicle that they've lost.
Copy, Sony, you're up.
Next time.
You need a flashlight?
Yeah, I'm just seeing what these. So it's not doing his chain final alert.
Okay.
So I'd say there's no HRT stuff in there. He has a little interest here. Bex, come here, please. It may be worth looking at this map if things develop. I don't know. It's just kind of a little bit. Is this where Janie's dog had interest too?
Very good. The opposite side, so bed area, and we actually shut off the furnace just to eliminate that. But it was from the other direction, right where those coolers were.
Okay.
So a lot of just refocus. So I don't know.
832, can you repeat that?
If there was.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right up on something. Keeping me out of Johnson's Corner.
Okay.
Sorry. Copy, I'm just finishing up on that out there.
Am I good to turn this back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was just revisiting right here. And the only thing, and there's a bag of rope and some tie downs and a whole bunch of paint cans.
Yeah. So I'm pretty confident it would not be a body or parts.
Okay. Yes, very organized, very clean. I mean, there's not even dust in the basement. Yeah. I don't know if you guys were out talking with Officer Perez as far as the car seats go and collecting scent. The kids were wet when they got in the car seats.
Uh-huh.
The car seats are still in the car. Both of those kids are old enough to put themselves in and out.
Okay.
So I don't know if he touched those or not, but they passed that information along to me.
Okay. They probably have, especially under the pads, where we're all sweating through and stuff.
Right.
Probably would be a good scent article possibly for the future, but I think we're good for now.
Did it work?
We'll use what we got.
Okay, perfect. Didn't want to not pass something on, so. Wow.
All right, guys.
Dispatch, Johnstown 832. Can you clear me, Robert, from my current call, and I'll be en route to 823's call at Johnson's Corner.
Anything else in the house?
Unless your counterparts have shared any information with you, I don't necessarily have anything.
Okay. Did she do the garage?
She has not done the garage.
Let's do that.
Garage should be this way.
You can do the garage and use that side.
So we figure the house is clear at this point. Okay. Yeah, that's out back. Hey, Perez.
Yes, ma'am. Can you change the
We're good if you guys want to go back in.
stolen vehicle to a check while we and on
Okay.
the area of Johnson Corner Temple location?
All right, we're done in there. So I'm gonna go double check with other team, but it doesn't sound like it.
It's something you can intake when you code it. Okay, well, just for clarification, it's not a stolen vehicle because Indiana never entered it.
We're good with the house. They don't need to go back in. Nope.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to let us know. Questions we can help you answer.
Oh no. Oh, absolutely. It's good to have a good support system and be able to reach out to people and have people reach out to him for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There's an iPhone on the weight bench down in the basement. I'm assuming that's his. Does he have an iPhone?
Yes.
Okay.
He has a work one.
Okay. I noticed it down there, so just in case he needs to get a hold of us, we need to get a hold of him, and he happens to, forget the phone. Nobody ever forgets the phone, but. With that?
Have you found anything on her phone?
I'm not at liberty to disclose anything as far as that goes.
Alright, like I said, any questions we try to have answers, let us know, or anything small that you guys can think of. I appreciate it.
Haven't heard anything yet. Yep, that it is.
Jackie, do you have a GPS on GPS? Yeah, I have a GPS. Or trip odometer?
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop it there. We already watched the first part of this was the community search with the dogs. So we're not going to watch that. I will link that part down in the description if you want to watch it. We're going to wrap it up with this article, The Scent of Death, Police Dogs and the Chris Watts Investigation. If you guys could give this live a thumbs up, helps us dance out into the algorithm, party out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really appreciated. Frederick, Colorado. K9 experts say a cadaver dog may have provided detectives their most important clue to the Chris Watts homicide investigation. Investigators in Frederick, Colorado aren't saying how they got Chris Watts to confess Wednesday, but Weld County prosecutors have revealed Watts' wife, Shanann, and 2 daughters were unalived inside their home. On Tuesday morning, K9 search teams were seen going in and out of the Chris Watts home while Chris Watts was providing interviews to the media. Brett Herbar operates Reliance International Protection, which trains canines for law enforcement nationwide. He told Fox 31 it's possible the police dogs detected the smell of the deceased before Watts ever confessed. I could easily see that law enforcement has gotten so good at working with the animals. Herbert said humans give off certain smells the moment they die, so a cadaver dog can tell the difference between a person's live scent and their dead scent, even in a house where the body has already been removed. An unalive body gives off different smells, and they are so minute we as human beings could never dream of detecting the difference, but a dog can, said Hairbar. If a canine alerted its handler to the scent of DEATH, Hairbar said it might have been easier for detectives to convince Watts to confess. It's not known if that happened in this case because the arrest affidavit remains sealed. We know now that it's not true. And even when it's unsealed, these details might not be released, which is interesting to think that even after everything that's been released, we might not have gotten everything with the dogs. It would be so nice just to one day get everything on this case, wouldn't it? Like to find out about Kessinger. Watts tells the truth. The Watts stop talking smack. The Ruchaks are just in peace. But I guess that's in a perfect world. So this is all I have. You guys, if you could check to see if you're subscribed. A lot of you weren't subscribed. I want to say a huge thank you to Katie from what is Katie from Katie from Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime. She sent out a shout out to my channel asking her subscribers to subscribe. Thank you so much, Katie. That was so appreciated. If you guys haven't seen Katie's channel, Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime is a great channel. She has equal snark with she's a nurse, so and she's a very fair person, so it's a really good channel. She talks about sister wives and that type of content. She does a little bit of true crime here and there, and it's a really good channel. So if you like that type of thing, please go over and subscribe to her, and a big thank you to her for sending her subscribers over to me. Hello to all her subscribers. Thank you. And thank you to all our channel members. We have a few pioneers, Miss Murda and Sherry P. Thank you. We like to release our videos ahead of time to our subscribers and give out shout outs like this. We also have a few videos up there that we haven't released to anybody except our subscribers. So if you're interested, I invite you to come over and subscribe. This is all I have today, you guys, and I'm going to head out. From my heart to your heart, if nobody's told you this today, I'm telling you this. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you. You certainly have made a difference in my life, and I hope I'm doing the same for you. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.